We back with another one, and this story comes out of Newbern, Alabama. And this story's been going on for quite a while. They voted for a black mayor, and the previous mayor was sitting on the city council, and he decided that this mayor's appointment was illegitimate. Let's get into it. Black mayor reinstated in Alabama town after white officials secretly conspired to unseat him, paving the way for black residents to vote for the first time in decades. Posted by Ike Morgan, published July 2nd, 2024, Atlanta Black Star. In a landmark victory for democracy in Alabama, Patrick Braxton, the first mayor in Newbern's 170-year history, has been reinstated after a 4-year legal battle. This follows a proposal settlement that has finally allowed the residents of Newbern to vote in their own municipal elections for the first time in over 60 years, HuffPost reports. The town, a predominantly black municipality with 133 residents. Did I read that correctly? 133 residents will hold its next elections in 2025. Braxton expressed his satisfaction with the settlement. He stated, "I'm pleased with the outcome and the community is pleased." Let me stop for a second and go back to this 133 residents. So if the black people in the town are 80%, so that means you got a handful of white people that's running shit. Now I got a few people upset with me. I believe this was last year. We were having a conversation on Twitter. I'll get into that later. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to this ratio. That's where the problem came in and why people had didn't like what I had to say. It's because of this ratio, and like I said, I'll mention that at the end. I think they are more pleased that they can voice their opinion and vote, according to the Associated Press. The lawsuit filed by Alabama-based Quinn Connor Weaver Davis and Ruku LLP, and later joined by the Legal Defense Fund, claimed that white officials systematically hijacked the democratic process for decades, maintaining control in a town where 80% of the residents are black. 133 black people now. So you do the math. Braxton, who assumed the office by default 4 years ago as the sole candidate and forced numerous obstacles, say he didn't have nobody to run against him. I guess not. It's only 133 people in the town. Shit, maybe I ought to move there and run for mayor. His his predecessor, Hollywood Woody Stokes. Hollywood Woody, huh? His predecessor, Hollywood Woody Stokes III, and his all-white council named as defendants didn't oppose Braxton initially. But after his victory, the all-white council led by Stokes III staged a sham special election to prevent him from appointing a predominantly black town council. They also took actions that obstructed voters from choosing council members, and he discovered the locks on the town hall had been changed. They then reappointed Stokes III as mayor of Newbern in 2021. This case matters so much. On its face, it sounds so absurd that this could happen. It does sound absurd that you would allow it to happen. But we see it mirrored in different parts of society all the time. Lee Wong, a voting rights attorney with the Legal Defense Fund, told HuffPost, if approved, it would make a significant step towards ratifying Newbern's long-standing practices that deny black folks the right to vote. Also, under the settlement, none of the parties involved in the case admitted any wrongdoing. Why am I not surprised? For instance, the plaintiffs sought to compel Stokes and the town's officials to admit they violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Previously, Braxton requested a preliminary injunction in the lawsuit urging the court to force the white officials to hold elections in November. This would allow black Newbern residents to exercise their constitutional right to vote before a final ruling is issued on the matter. One LDF attorney explained to The Guardian how the white municipal officials explained in their response to the injunction motion their rationale for not holding elections. They claimed that they didn't know they had to. LDF senior counsel Mornaik Fajana told the British newspaper. Instead, the process was when a position became vacant, they would just kind of recruit among the community and the people that knew it. They would just appoint that person and it would happen, basically in a covert manner. I mean, the people got to see somebody else sitting on the city council and no one voted for that person to be on the city council. So what's really going on? Now Braxton will get to appoint an interim council subject to the approval of Republican Alabama Governor Kay Ivey. That will serve until next year's election. Braxton's reinstatement is a testament to the resilience and determination of black residents in Newbern who have fought tirelessly for their right to participate in the democratic process. The reinstated mayor told The Guardian what this reenfranchisement means for the town. I think I got a wonderful team, people that's going to do work with me and help the community, he said. Well, I'm glad to see the mayor has finally been able to handle his duties. This story's been going on for a while, and there's been discussions about it over on Twitter, and a few folks didn't like what I had to say. And it's only because it can't be more than 30 white people in that town. You're talking about 80%. So you probably got about, what, 90 over, probably a little over 100 black folks in the town to compare to 30 some white folks. And you don't let people, you outnumber people and they kicking you in your ass like that. And that's what people got upset with me on Twitter about. And I didn't like how it was this one sister that was stomping. She's not mentioned in this article either, that she was doing interviews and bringing light to the story, everything that's going on in Newbern. Her name, I can't think of her last name, but I remember her first name, Laquita. I think that was her name. And she ended up, she was going out somewhere, I guess taking her kids out, and these suspected white supremacists came by and burnt down her home. And that's the shit I don't like. If you got a sister standing up and stomping for what's going on in that town, you need to protect her. Somebody sit outside her house, make sure everything's okay. And that's what people got upset at me about, because people were going down there to make sure everything was good, which I don't have a problem with that. But I was only saying that the people in the town got to stand up and, not let them keep putting a foot in your ass, because people can't be there forever. And that's the only thing I was getting at. And I guess people didn't like what I was saying. I know these type of things happen everywhere. Like they trying to do similar things in Jackson, Mississippi right now. And even here where I'm at in Ferguson, we had a problem with the mayor here. And there's no way in hell you could tell me that after the things with Mike Brown happened that he got reelected. I just didn't buy that shit. But he eventually got up out of here. So I know it happens everywhere. And we was raising hell about a lot of things. I'm glad to see this brother finally get to be mayor of his city after the people elected him. Well, he was the only one running, so it is what it is, man. But I'm glad to see he get to be the town's mayor, and hopefully they could continue to grow. And I see that he gets to select a special counsel that's got to be approved by the governor. I do have a problem with that. But hopefully, no matter who he picks, should okay it. She should. But definitely the people in that city need to be represented. You got 133 people, 80% black. And they were basically saying, we gonna represent you. They were pointing city council members, and we know how that goes. They want to keep control of things in a city that's predominantly black, and it's just not gonna fly. You don't let people dictate to you what's going on in a community that you dominate in. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.